Hello and welcome to Friday's programme.
Your headlines tonight. The reopening of the £200 million Bristol to Portishead Railway moves a step closer as contracts are signed to build the line and stations.
It's going to make a huge difference, actually. So we know that Portishead has grown a lot since this line was originally shut. You know, Portishead's now got a really significant population.
With Bristol being one of the most expensive places to rent in the country, new rules are introduced to stop landlords evicting tenants without a valid reason.
Bath Rugby prepare for their Crunch European Cup semi-final in Bordeaux.
And it's Beltaine. I'm in Glastonbury for Mayday celebrations like no other.
Good evening. First tonight, after decades of campaigning, contracts have been signed to enable construction of the rail line between Portishead and Bristol. It's been 60 years since trains last ran on the route, but now the new Portishead station should be open within 2 years.
At a cost of just under £200 million, it's hoped it'll take thousands of cars off the road and provide a boost to the town's economy. In a moment, Max Walsh will be in Portishead with reaction from today's announcement. But first, Robert Murphy has this report.
The train about to depart Bristol Tempermeads was special, demonstrating the new line which will reconnect by rail the city with Portishead. This is a driver's view of the line, which at present goes only as far as Portbury Docks. The line was open for a century before it was part of the so-called beaching cuts. Not since September 1964 has a single passenger travelled along this line. It's been open only to freight for the last couple of decades. And this project's been talked about, it's been on and off for years, but finally, we are go. And passengers should be back on this train, on this line, within 2 years. Earlier, a ceremonial contract signing, the regional authorities allocated nearly half of the £200 million funds to reinstate the line.
It's going to make a huge difference, actually. So we know that Portishead has grown a lot since this line was originally shut. You know, Portishead's now got a really significant population. A lot of those people will live and work in the area, but an awful lot of people will be commuting into Bristol or out to Filton and South Gloucestershire, where, you know, that's a big economic centre for us, or down into Bath and North East Somerset.
They've managed without a railway in Portishead for a long time, but I think journey times are much longer than many people would like. And I think having a railway station and having that connectivity with the city centre in Bristol, but also the wider railway network, is really, really important.
One of the passengers on board had even ridden the old Portishead line back in the early 1960s. These days he works in the railway industry.
It was amazing that the decision was still taken that it should close. I mean, something would never happen today, obviously. And it's been a huge effort to get it reopened.
And why is it so important now for you that it is reopened?
Well, because I believe in the railway and I want to see the railways grow.
With a single track line, there are limits. Services will be just once an hour to start with. But if there's demand, that will grow. After 6 decades, Portishead will be reconnected to the railway network. Robert Murphy, ITV News.
Well, let's get more on this now. And Max Walsh is in Portishead for us tonight, where the new station will be. Max, what do people there think about this finally happening?
Well, people I've been speaking today, Ellie, say they're very excited for this line finally to reopen after all these years. It was closed back in the 60s. You can still make out the old line, disused, now overgrown. And what it's hoped will happen over the next couple of years is that this will all be cleaned up, new railway lines will be put down and trains will be on it, coming with me across the road to where the new train station is going to be built. We have artist impressions of what this new railway station will look like. But what's happened, I suppose, since the 60s, especially here in Portishead, is the population has grown enormously. Some 26,000 people now live here, and many people I've been speaking to say it is long overdue for this train station to reopen.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Obviously, I think some people are concerned that although it'll be great for people to travel to Bristol to go to work, I think the point is have we got enough to make interest for the people to come into Portishead.
It is, yes. It's going to make it a lot easier for getting in and out of Portishead. We obviously got the buses and the cars, but having the train's going to make it really useful.
Yeah, I think it is. More options we've got, the better. I don't think it'll be as cheap as everyone thinks it's going to be, because it's not going to be that subsidised. But yeah, it's a nice alternative to the bus.
I'm really excited about it. Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Yeah, to have somewhere local. I live in Clevedon, and I know Yatton's quite close, but
I live in Nelda. Yeah. So
I'm really excited.
Some people have been campaigning in this town for this railway line to reopen for the best part of 30 years. And while there is some criticism about this new railway line, about how regular the services will be, the cost of a ticket, how fast can it go through the Avon Gorge, overwhelmingly there is a huge amount of support and excitement. And I think come 2028, if it is all running on time, there will also be a huge amount of relief.
OK, Max Walsh in Portishead, thank you.
And as ever, do let us know what you make of it. It'll be good to hear your thoughts. Right, let's bring you some other news tonight. And the co-founder of the clothing company Superdry has been found guilty of raping a woman after a night out in Cheltenham. James Holder, who's 54, had gone back to the woman's flat after a night of drinking in the town. He was found guilty at Gloucester Crown Court and will be sentenced at a later date.
A man is in a critical condition in hospital after a suspected homophobic attack in Bristol city centre. Emergency services were called to St Nicholas Street in the early hours of last Friday morning. A man in his 30s was found lying unconscious with significant facial injuries. Another man suffered minor injuries in the incident, which police are treating as a hate crime.
A man who led police on a high-speed pursuit through Chippenham has been jailed. Curtis Harrison drove at more than 90 miles per hour in a 30 limit zone. He eventually came to a stop and ran off on foot. Officers found a woman and a 10-year-old child still in the car. Harrison was sentenced to 14 months in prison.
Now next tonight, new rules for renters come into force today, aiming to provide greater security for those living in private tenancies.
Well, Bristol is the third most expensive place to rent in the country and has more than 100,000 renters. That's higher than the UK average. So, will these new rules make their lives a little easier? Nick Smith reports.
The private rental market is where roughly 1 in 5 of us call home, and now it's subject to a host of new rules in the Renters' Rights Act. At this lettings agency in Bristol, they've spent many months getting in touch with their clients to make sure they're aware of what it means.
For landlords, what this would mean is the biggest change that they've been used to over the last 20, 30 years. So effectively, we've now got a headline minor fines up to £7,000. We're looking at repeat occurrences of a minor fine or a major fine instance, which is up to £40,000. So in terms of navigating how they're operating, they're going to have to change the way that they operate.
The key features of the Renters' Rights Act include abolishing Section 21 or no-fault evictions, rent control measures, meaning landlords must adhere to market rates, the right to own a pet unless there's a valid reason not to, and outlawing rental bidding wars, meaning properties must be let at the rent advertised. Nye Jones is a renters' rights campaigner and has long experience living in various private rentals. He says the Act provides a solid foundation for more secure housing.
So I've been renting coming up to nearly a decade now, experienced a range of different issues, including like really poor quality homes. I've seen more and more of my income swallowed up by rent as well, having to be uprooted from homes at short notice and having to find somewhere new to live. So what the Renters' Rights Act will do, it will mean that we have much greater security in our homes and therefore more ability to kind of use our new rights and hold landlords to account.
1 in 5 tenants were faced with eviction in the past year. Ending the no-fault eviction would change the fundamental relationship between a landlord and a tenant, creating stability and predictability. But security is not just about evictions, it is also about housing conditions and affordability.
Those representing landlords say while the Act encourages responsible practices, there's concern over the length of time it takes to evict problem tenants and those in rent arrears.
We will have longer notice periods. We will be at the behest of the court system that takes on average 8 months currently to deal with possession claims. That's only going to increase with the lack of preparedness for court reform and these changes. So landlords will need to exercise their responsibilities very carefully.
The government says it is supporting landlords through this process, and an additional £18 million has been handed to local authorities for enforcement and to help manage disputes, in what could well be the biggest shake-up in the rental sector for a generation. Nick Smith, ITV News.
You're watching ITV News in the West Country with Ellie and Seb.
Yeah, thank you for joining us this Friday evening as your weekend gets underway. Still ahead on the programme before 6:30. We're welcoming in May in Celtic pagan fashion. We're in Glastonbury as people celebrate Beltaine.
And we'll take a look at some April stats. Spoiler alert, it's been quite dry, but that will probably be undone as we head through this long weekend.
And of course, the ITV News continues after us with the national and international stories at 6:30. Here's Charlene White.
Coming up, the man accused of attacking 2 Jewish men in North London appears in court, charged with attempted murder. More stability and security for tenants as the Renters' Rights Act comes into force, shaking up the industry in England. And we catch up with the Gen Z Twitchers as its popularity soars. Stay drawn to those stories and more from 6:30.
Yeah, lots still to come. But first, it is time for sport. With a busy bank holiday weekend ahead, let's take a look.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
And to help us take a look is Ross. Ross has joined us in the studio. So what are we looking at then?
An awful lot. Right. Yeah, it's the combination in obviously a lot of the campaigns, particularly football. We'll get on to that in a moment, but I thought we'd start with this instead. Not often we start with rugby, isn't it? But you probably remember these pictures from Bath's incredible treble-winning season last summer. They won the Premiership, the Prem Cup, and then the European Challenge Cup. This year, though, they'll be looking to go one better. They're in the semi-finals of the Champions Cup. That's the elite European competition. On Sunday, they'll face Bordeaux in the south of France for a place in the final. And it's a city this club knows very well indeed. They're once again the club everyone's talking about. And at their training ground, it's clear to see why. Everywhere you look, there's a Bath rugby star. Unprecedented treble winners last year, hoping to take it one step further this campaign. Their eyes on top European silverware. But it's away from here and the serenity of the West Country. Bath will do battle. Bordeaux in Bordeaux. That's what's standing in their way of a place in a cup final.
Oh, listen, there's definitely something on the line. So, you know, when something is on the line for any rugby player, that tends to get the best out of every player. And the competition is so immense at the moment that, yes, there'll definitely be a little bit extra in it. No, I think it would be wrong for us to say that it's just another game, but the process that you follow during the week shouldn't change.
I think as a player, there's kind of rankings of things you want to win in your career, and obviously the World Cup's #1 for your country, and then I'd probably put the Champions Cup second. With sport, if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best, and regardless of the result, I think we want to give a good account of what we can do, and you never know, special things can happen.
And history suggests he could be right.
Kick off the 1998 Heineken Cup final.
A special moment in Bordeaux for Bath isn't new. 28 years ago, the club won this competition for the first and only time. Thousands of fans will march on the French city this weekend. They're hopeful of the delirium of that day nearly 3 decades ago. A new generation hopeful of the blue, black and white army making the final and making more history.
I remember that. Why does it feel so long ago?
You're very old, doesn't
I
it?
don't remember that. Sadly, yeah, I don't remember it. But the pictures are amazing, aren't they? And it's the only time they've won the Champions Cup, the top competition. I mean, you wouldn't bet against them doing it. Bordeaux, though, they're a very different beast to what they're usually facing in the Premiership and the Prem. So, yeah, will be tough, but Bath fans will be incredibly excited, I'm sure. We'll see how they get on Sunday. Fingers crossed for them. Anyway, to the football. And things pretty much all tied up for our football teams, all apart from Swindon Town in League Two. Remarkably, despite the club being in the automatic promotion spots for much of the season, a serious loss of form in recent weeks has seen them drop right out of the promotion-chasing pack, even out of the playoff spots as well. They play Chesterfield tomorrow, and if they win, they can get back in. But Ian Holloway, the head coach, he said the wheels had come off on the radio yesterday and was pretty downbeat in his pre-match press conference as well.
There's been some honesty and truth, and we've switched things around for them having skin in the deal, make sure that the information we're giving them, they understand it. So I've twisted things around. I've done it before in other experiences that I've been through. Luckily, I've won some and lost some, so you know whereabouts you are, but this ain't, I'm not papering it up to be good. It's not good at all for any of us.
Yeah, pretty scathing, right? Pretty scathing. You won't want to be in the dressing room at full time if they don't get in. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, let's look at the rest of the fixtures as well, shall we? Much less to play for some of our other teams. You can see them there, the League Two fixtures. Cheltenham Town, they're playing Colchester. Bristol Rovers away at Notts County. If they win that, actually, they'll be the only club in England in the top 4 divisions to win 9 matches in a row this season. Swindon playing Chesterfield. Bristol City, Roy Hodgson's last match at Stoke City. So
Okay. Wow,
Big
there's
weekend.
a lot.
Yeah.
Ross, thank you.
Well, it's not just our footballers and rugby players that are gearing up for a big weekend. Rowers from Bristol, Portishead, Clevedon, Burnham-on-Sea, Weston-super-Mare and across Dorset are getting ready to compete in the World Pilot Gig Championships.
Yes, they're joining almost 500 crews of all abilities at St Mary's Harbour on the Isles of Scilly. And guess what? Bob Cruz, who pretty much gets all the best gigs, I'd like to say, is over there. Bob, it looks amazing, and I'm presuming you've got a fan club over there as well.
Said there are champagne corks popping behind me. Some of the crews coming in from some of the evening races here on the Scillies this evening. It's a beautiful evening. The sun's been shining today and we're making the most of it because I don't think it's going to be like that all weekend. But there are crews here from all over the place, particularly from Weston-super-Mare, and I'm joined here by Chick Parkin, who's part of the Weston Gig Club. Chick, and yours is a pretty young crew, isn't it?
Yeah, we started the club back in May 2022. It was 5 guys from Western Bay Yacht Club, and this is the crew at the Isles of Scilly.
And have you got some first-timers here at the World Pilot Gig Championships?
Hasty and Steve Venn, the diagram, and then we've got Ben, who's here for the first time, and then everybody else, and Serena as well. So yeah,
they haven't a clue what's in store for them, have they? What's it going to be like out there on the water? Your first race is tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're racing at 12 o'clock tomorrow, and then we've got 12:30, and then we've got a race at 2 o'clock. So the ladies go out first, and then the men. But the conditions look pretty good. It's going to rain, I think, tomorrow, but the wind's not too bad. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Tell me a bit about the atmosphere, what it's like being part of the championships here, because this is such a big event for the sport that you take part in, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really amazing. It's basically a culmination of 6 months of training, in the gym, out on the water in all weathers, and we all come together. We all help each other out, getting the gigs in and out of the water, and then when we're racing, then obviously it's race heads on, and then we're racing, and then big celebration afterwards.
Somebody said to me earlier on that everybody's having a lovely time, chatting, smiling, enjoying things, and then you get game faces on, and then at the end of the race, everyone's friends again. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a really inclusive community sport. Lots of socialising, lots of getting together before and after. But yeah, when we're on the water, then it's oars clashing and getting each other's way. But yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's good.
Brilliant job. Well, listen, have a wonderful weekend. Good luck tomorrow. Good luck to all of you. We've had the over 40s, the over 50s and the over 60s. That's the vets, the super vets and the masters racing today. And there's a lot more racing to come this weekend.
Wow. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Bob, enjoy yourself as well. Go for a paddle.
So beautiful there, doesn't it? Very jealous of Bob this evening.
Lucky. Now, hundreds of people gathered in Glastonbury for the Beltaine Festival today, celebrating May Day and the start of summer.
Yeah, it's a tradition that attracts visitors from all over the world, in particular for its Maypole procession, led by the May King and Queen. Louisa Britton went along.
The streets of Glastonbury were awash with colour and music for its annual May Day celebrations. Welcoming the start of summer, The Green Men of Glastonbury carry the maypole along a procession through town. It's an event that's grown over the years and now attracts people from all over the world.
When I first lived here, it was very small. There was just a handful of 20, 30 of us, you know, and then it's grown and now it's hundreds of people from all over the world. So it's a profound, awesome time where we all plant the seeds for the year to come.
Beltaine is definitely one of my favourite. It's a very special time because I think we're really coming out of that sort of winter and we're going into that summer now, aren't we, from spring to summer, and you just see the whole land comes alive.
It's just amazing the way everyone comes together and the beautiful energies, and it's just a great celebration.
It's a bit wacky, but I think everybody enjoys themselves, don't they? And that's what love's about, isn't it?
You can see the May King and Queen there at the front of the procession. There's hundreds and hundreds of people behind them coming up from town. And the celebrations here, we just look at them, they're incredible.
People say, oh, well, in this chat GPT days and all the rest, how important is it? It's important. And because people still do it worldwide, that's why everything continues.
Having completed its procession, the maypole is then raised at the foot of Glastonbury Tor. But celebrations here are far from over, as they'll continue until the end of the weekend. Louisa Britton, ITV News.
Oh, the crowds. It looked amazing, didn't it? Really good. So it is May Day, of course, with the bank holiday ahead, and all eyes, of course, are on the weather. And the man with all the answers, we hope, is Charlie. Charlie, how's it looking?
We'll get there in a minute, maybe. Not great, as a little spoiler for you. I'm going to start proceedings with some, well, drier news for the April stats. We had just about 52% of average rainfall, so it was quite a dry month. That will change this weekend. 6th warmest, though, so a top 10 for temperatures and nearly a third sunnier than usual. Thanks in part to the last 2 weeks we had that high pressure in charge. But today was very mixed. We had a lot of grey weather out there. Camera operator Tim sent these pictures back of both 7 crossings, which at times were, well, doused in some pretty heavy downpours. But there was a little bit of sunshine around, but yeah, more mixed weather ahead.
Ancient sites will clear. Bringing local dishes in the afternoon. TUI sponsors ITV West Country weather.
So this bank holiday weekend, timing aside, the rainfall is kind of needed after what's been a dry few weeks, really. So yes, something a little wetter arriving. Temperatures will be a little bit lower. It might end up being just a little bit drier on Monday as showers just thin out a little bit. But before then, an approaching area of low pressure will push some more persistent rain towards us late Saturday into Sunday, and then the showers that follow after that will take us through until bank holiday Monday. So yeah, it's a disappointing forecast, I suppose, and time for this long weekend. It is dry as we head to the rest of this evening and tonight. There'll be little bits of cloud pushing through, otherwise we've got light winds. There might be a little bit of low cloud developing in a few spots as we work our way towards dawn. Temperatures, single figures. In rural spots, like last night, probably down to kind of 5 or 6 degrees, maybe. So a dry start to the bank holiday weekend, and maybe the odd little bit of brightness around. We'll see something turning wetter as we work our way through the latter stages of the afternoon as rain starts to blossom and work in from the south. It'll turn out to be a pretty wet end to Saturday, increasingly cloudy through the day, but still quite warm ahead of that, 18 or 19 degrees, and a bit of a humid feel as well. But yes, things turning wetter from the south later on. Sunday, there will be further outbreaks of rain, perhaps a little bit more showery. Fewer showers on Monday by the looks of things. So small improvements as we head through the course of the weekend. Into next week, it looks like it should be largely dry, but temperatures will just be that little bit lower by that point. I'll leave you though with this incredible example of a tamarisk tree in Devizes from Carroll's incredible blossom.
TUI sponsors ITV West Country weather.
So yes, a change in the weather and a change in the temperatures, partly due to a change in our wind direction. Lots of changes. Said that word a lot, didn't I? But yes, the temperature will drop a little bit more as we work our way into next week, probably below average.
Charlie, thank you very much indeed. Have a lovely weekend.
Thanks.
Well, that is it from the two of us. I'll be back with the late news at 10:30.
After the break, though, the ITV News continues. Bye for now. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.